We've already seen how Google Forms integrates seamlessly with Google Sheets. In this video, we'll look at a sheet created from a form and explore two add-ons you can use for communication with your students about the data they entered in the form. Here's a Google form that I, as the teacher, have set up for my students. The form is set up in section breaks. In the first section, I ask for first name, last name, email, then a multiple choice for selecting the review session each student would like to attend, math or science. Depending on the chosen session, students are directed to the section where they can choose their preferred review session date. Those choices are presented in sections 2 and 3. After section 2, students can submit the form. Submitting the form is automatically the choice after section 3. It's important that all questions have unique names, which is why I differentiated between sessions in these two questions. Identical question names will produce columns with identical headers in the sheet, which will cause the add-ons to work incorrectly. Here are the responses that have come in, and I've exported them into a Google Sheet with this data. The sheet is named automatically from the form's export. Now say I want to send my students reminder emails about the sessions they signed up for. The add-on I'll use for this is Formule. This is an add-on for Sheets, not for Google Forms. I'll choose Add-ons, Formule, Setup, or Launch. I first need to select the sheet, which is this one. The next step is to choose triggers, either to send emails just after the student submits their response, or to send emails at a specific date and time. I'm going to leave both of these off for now and click Next. This is where I can set up the email templates. If I wanted to set up a template for just those students attending the math review, I would choose the column by which I'd filter the students. This would be a review session, and here I would list math. But instead, I'll just create a template that will send a reminder to all students. So I'll change this to Send for All Rows. I'll save the template, then continue with creating the actual template. In the template itself, for the To field, I'll click Email here, which will auto-populate with all of the emails from my sheet. I'll enter a generic subject line. I can customize for each student what appears in the body of the email. I'll start with Dear, then click First Name, space, Last Name. I only need what appears inside the double brackets, so I'll erase these extra text strings. I'll continue the message, include a tag for which session they signed up for, then add another tag for both dates. Each student only has one date listed in their row, so only one of these tags will be populated in the actual email. I'll then preview so that I can see each email that will go to each student. If all looks good, click Send Now. Back in the Google Sheet, there's a new column that shows that the emails were sent. Now let's say I want to send something to each student after completing their review session, such as a certificate of completion. I'll start a new Google Doc, set to landscape, and with this background color. To customize this certificate for each student, I can use the same double bracket tags that I used in Formule. I'll split the screen so the tags themselves can be copied. This can be done with a Chrome extension called Tab Resize. I have the sheet open here so that I can see and copy the column headers. For the text that goes inside the double brackets, I want to cut and paste from the column headers, because this text has to be exact in order to work. The cut and paste may change your font, but when finished, you can select everything and fix it. And here's the name of this Google Doc. Now, going back to the sheet, I'll use another add-on to send this customized doc to each student. This add-on, which is also for Sheets, is called Autocrat. I'll launch it by choosing Add-ons, Autocrat, Open. First, click New Job. Then name your job. For the template to send, I'll look in my drive and find the doc I just created. Then I need to choose the sheet that contains the names and emails. These are the tags found in the doc, and they should be mapped automatically to the correct columns from the Google Sheet. Now I need to assign a file name for each file AutoCrack creates, and whether to send these files as Google Docs or as PDFs. After answering a few more questions about folders and triggers and formats, I'll click the play icon to perform the merge. Back in my sheet, there are now additional columns with links to each doc for each student. I can click on one of these to view.